Hi guys, it's Mishel, Deception Bytes, and it is Monday, September 17th, and it's 9:38 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, what we're going to be doing is picking up from where we left off with the Q post. Q has been posting today. That doesn't mean that he is not going to be posting further today. He may indeed, but at least I will catch us up to what is there at this point anyway. Now, before I get started with that, and I don't want to spend a whole lot of time doing this, but I do feel the need to apologize. I do agree that I was very, very touchy about one subject in particular yesterday. Now, some of you may not know what I'm talking about, and others of you may indeed know what I'm talking about. I guess it just depends on how closely you look at the comments. But I'm not going to comment on that per se, other than to apologize, because I'll tell you something, it is hard sometimes to, when you're reading something, understand exactly, because you're not seeing you're not hearing the inflection in their voice, you're not seeing their expression, and sometimes it's very, very easy to misunderstand something in written form. So if I responded to you in a way that was less than friendly, I do apologize. If that was not your intention, I really sincerely apologize, okay? Now, that does not change the way I feel about the subject, or does not change the fact that I am not going to, at this point, comment further on the subject. I did want to make that clear. And there's one more thing that concerns me, but this really deals with a very small minority of my listeners, and I know that for a fact, but I do feel compelled to make something clear. Every time I mention something that someone mistakes for perhaps not in full agreement with Q, I get the comments like, well, if you're not for Q, you're against him, and you shouldn't be doing these posts if you're not 100% for Q. Now, I want to make something completely clear, okay? My allegiance, and I've made this clear before, and I just want to clear the air. I want to be completely honest and forthright with everyone. My allegiance is to the Lord Jesus Christ. I am a Christian, and that is who my allegiance is to. I do not blindly follow another man or woman, just blindly. I don't trust anyone to that point enough to follow them blindly. In fact, I didn't even follow the Lord blindly. I spent many, many, many years, decades in fact, in deep study of Scripture. So I'm just not someone to blindly follow. Now, does that mean that I disagree with Q? No, I haven't seen anything at this point. I started reporting on Q because it was curious to me. I'm a researcher, I'm a writer, and I wanted to see what it was about. And I became convinced that it was for real. I don't see anything negative happening at this point. I only see that there is justice. It appears justice is on the way in terms of some of these things that have been perpetrated on the American people, and others as well. So no, I'm not against Q at all. I am for Q. And if that changes, I will be the very first person to tell you. I will tell you that I'm not going to play along with something I don't believe in. I'm just not. I will tell you, and I will give you the reason. And so I want to let you know that my allegiance is to the Lord and not to POTUS, not to Q. Now, I agree with POTUS. I support POTUS. Absolutely. I think he's doing the best job of certainly any president in my lifetime. And I think that I can only see good things there. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to elevate POTUS to the place of Christ, or that I'm going to elevate Q to the place of a God in my life and blindly follow and just, quote, trust the plan. The only, quote, plan that I trust is the plan of the Lord. Now, if those two things are one and the same, then great. But let me tell you, I will follow until there is such a time as I can no longer follow because of my faith and what I believe in. That time has not arrived. It may never arrive. I pray it doesn't. But I want to be perfectly clear to you. Okay? So if you are wanting to listen to someone that is going to blindly follow, blindly trust, not check any of this out, and just believe, Q said it, I believe it, therefore it's the gospel truth, then I'm not the person to listen to. Okay? Now, having said that, please listen to what I'm saying, not to what I'm not saying. I trust, at this point, I trust Q, I trust POTUS, but to a point. I'm still going to use my discernment. I'm still going to check things out. I'm still going to investigate. That's just me. So again, if you are listening and under the impression that I will blindly follow regardless of what happens, then you've been misled somewhere along the way, because I want to tell you exactly what I stand for. Now, do I agree with what Q has said? Absolutely. We're not at that point. We may never be at that point. I may never get to the point where I say, oh, I can't follow anymore. No, I don't agree with that. I'm not there. But I'm not going to tell you that that day may never come, because I don't know. All right? So I just want to make that plain. I want to clear the air there, and let you know where my true allegiance lies. And so far, what I've seen has been good. I have not been concerned. I was a bit concerned when I saw Flynn accepting an award in Singlob's name. Okay, that I was a bit concerned. But never once did I say that, Q or Flynn were not patriots, or were bad people, or were involved in any of the things that Singlob was involved in. I have no idea of that. Okay? So I didn't say that. And I have no reason to believe that Flynn is not a patriot, does not love this country. I have no evidence to the contrary at this point. If I do come across evidence to the contrary, I will let you know, because I feel that is my responsibility. And then it is up to you whether you believe or not, and hopefully you would check it out for yourself. Because if you are just listening to me and believing everything I say, then you're a fool. Because anyone, you don't know me. I could be lying to you. I pray to God that I'm not. It's certainly not my intention to mislead anyone ever. But I'm just saying, I'm human, flesh and blood, just like you. So you don't know what I'm telling you, if what I'm telling you is the truth or not. That's why I always urge people to check things out for themselves. I will never ask anyone to blindly listen and believe anything I say. Okay, so now that I've said that, let's move on and let's lighten things up, because that is way too heavy and way too depressing for me. Alrighty. All right. And those of you that are upset with me will be very happy to know that I had something absolutely horrible happen today. I've been smelling this smell in my house for I don't know how long, and I am fastidiously clean. Fastidiously clean. You will never find dirt in my house. It just, doesn't happen. And so I kept smelling the smell. I was going through everything trying to find it, and I couldn't, and it was driving me insane. I was washing down everything, and the smell was just getting worse day by day. I finally realized, and they have probably been in there for I don't know how long, but apparently I never eat potatoes, but apparently at some point I bought some potatoes and I put them in the cupboard, and they went to the back and they liquefied. Yes, liquefied. And I don't know if you've ever smelled liquefied potatoes, but I would not recommend it. And not only did they liquefy, but I had maggots in my cupboard. And for someone that is fastidiously clean, it was horrific. Yes. Anyway, I'm not sure why I shared that, but I did. And so there you go. All right, now let's get on to Q, because that's why you're here. And I will stop talking your hind legs off. All right. The first post here is this, and you can almost hear the way he's saying this. Attention on deck, memes at the ready, lock on target, fire at will. Q. Love that. I do think that Q has a sense of humor, and I like that about him, her, them. Not sure who we're dealing with here, whether it's a he, she, they, them. I think it is a them, but anyway, I do think that they have a sense of humor, and I like this. Attention on deck, memes at the ready, lock on target, fire at will. Q. And I do need to take that to heart, because as a graphic artist, that is something that I should be doing, spending some time doing a few memes here and there. I really should. So shame on me. All right, now let's go up to the next one. And here we go. Somebody has put, it's blurry. We need some blurry be gone. But it's a blurry picture of obviously POTUS. With the little, fist bump there, and underneath, and this is by an anon, by the way. Q has brought it to our attention, no doubt, but this is from an anon, this picture, and it says, Q, you were right all along. Emmys, red carpet, keck, where we go one, we go all. This is funny, because I just noticed this anon put, where we go one, we go all one. I think, that one should have been left off the end, but it's cute regardless. Anyway, now I was a little bit perplexed about this. I will have to admit, I didn't really get it at first, and it took me a few minutes to get it. So now that I've got it, I'm hoping that I will be able to adequately communicate it to you. And you may have already been out there and looked at these and got it yourself. So in that case, what are you listening to me for? Anyway, here Q is referring to the above picture and comment and saying, Anons picked up on the carpet bombs for you and you alone. Fight, fight, fight. Q. Now, what's he talking about? What's he talking about? Carpet bombs. Now, we know that he had mentioned this, I think it was in yesterday's post, if I'm not mistaken. And, he said carpet bombs leading up to the mother of all bombs. Remember? Well, apparently, and see, I don't keep up with this stuff, so it didn't click in right away. Like, I didn't go, aha, yeah. But now it makes sense. Excuse me. I need to remember to go out and buy some throat coat. Anyway, the 70th Primetime Emmy Awards will honor the best in U.S. primetime television program from June 1st, 2017 until May 31st, 2018, as chosen by the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. The ceremony is currently held live right now on September 17th, 2018 at the Microsoft Theater in downtown Los Angeles, California, and is broadcast in the U.S. by NBC. The ceremony is being hosted by Michael Chi and Colin Jost. The nominations were announced by Ryan Eggold and Samira Wiley on July 12th, 2018. And here is the poster for it. and it's live Monday, September 17th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time and 5 p.m. Pacific Time. And it's actually a very nicely done poster there, but I had no idea that it was the Emmys that were happening today, and it makes sense now. Carpet bombs, of course, red carpet. And let's go back and we will show and prove, hopefully, that this is indeed what he's talking about. Now, I picked this up from Twitter, from Doc Rock 1007, and I think I need to go back and follow this person because they seem to have a lot of interesting things to say. Now, they said QAnon, thanks Anon, QAnon, thanks Anons picking up on the carpet bombs occurring tonight during the Emmys red carpet event as Q foretold. And yes, he did. So, let me see here. We're going to be coming back to visit this in a second, I believe. Yes, we are. All right. Let's look at this. Well, actually, let's go up here first to the next post. And, okay. We're going to be coming back to the carpet bombs, by the way. We're going out to to Twitter, obviously, and this is Lisa Mae Crowley. I do follow her, as you can see. And it says, listening to the Larry O'Connor show on WMAL, John Solomon confirms Lisa Page and Bruce Orr have been cooperating witnesses. We, of course, already knew this. Future proves past. Yes, of course, we already knew this. And why did we know this? Because Q told us. Quite a while ago, actually. So we've known this all along, but it is now coming out in the news. So yes, indeed, future proves past. And Q, of course, says to us, at what point does it become mathematically impossible? Q, well, actually, I think we're at that point. Q, if you ask me, you're asking at what point does it become mathematically impossible? And I'm responding, just about now. Because really, if we take all of the times that something has come out in the news that we already knew about, because Q told us, there would be many, many, many instances. Now, I know there are people that have been compiling lists of Q proofs, and for those people, we are very thankful and grateful for their time spent doing that. But if you are following the Q posts every day, as most of you, I would say, are, then we know that this keeps happening over and over and over and over again. And when Q says, what point does it become mathematically impossible? Oh, it's already mathematically impossible. Yeah. It would be about the same. The odds, okay, here's my thoughts. The odds of this being coincidence are about the same as there being a bunch of paint in a room and the room being hit with a tornado and the Mona Lisa, a perfect replica of the Mona Lisa emerges. That would be about, that would be about the extent of the probability. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on because we can. All right, here is the next post, and all right, we're back to the carpet bombs, and here Q is actually this isn't Q, this is an anon that Q is referring to. Now this anon, let me make this a little bit bigger, make it bigger, and it was. Now it's bigger and blurrier, but it's bigger. Okay, now this is an old Q post from April 30th, 2018, and he said, Emmy Awards, red carpet event, Q. And this anon has made reference to this old post by Q and has referenced these two posts by other anons. So before we go on to what Q, because he responds to this, let's look at who this anon is responding to and what they are saying. Here's the first one, 306-1704, 306-1704. And this is by a Q, actually, and it says, Anons picked up on the carpet bombs for you and you alone. Fight, 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 Q. So this anon is referencing this by Q, and also 306-1777, which is this big monstrous post. Let me make it bigger. Be bigger. And it was. All right. Now this one is by an anon who has collected some different Q posts. This Q post is from April 24th, 2018. And it references this post by an anon. It says, breaking, DOJ will make the 6 months of missing texts that were eventually located by IG between Strzok and Page available to Congress sometime tonight or tomorrow, according to sources. Developing. And then it says, incoming, mother of all bombs, duck and cover. And that is an anon, and of course he is referring to this by Sarah A. Carter, and that was April 24th. And underneath it, Q had responded and said, red carpet event tonight, state dinner, what will the text reveal? Moab, mother of all bomb, or is it just the precursor? Q. Well, as we know now, it was just the precursor, right? So let's move over to this middle one. And again, this is Q from April 24th, 2018, making a reference to a post by an anon that says POTUS deserves a Nobel Peace Prize for his work. And POTUS responds, Q rather, responds and says, we are in this together. No fame. This is about taking back our freedom and saving our children, people, from the evil that has plagued our country, world for so long. Q. And let's move over to the last one here. And it is a post by Q on the same date, April 24th, 2018. And it is making reference to a post by an anon that says, when will we have the mother of all bombs? And Q responds and says, should we tell all the good people watching the day and time? Red carpet rollout? Think logically. The world is watching. Q. Red carpet rollout? Now, interesting. Now, this is what, hang on here, sorry. Yeah, let's go back up. So these are the posts that these two refer to, and this anon has said Emmy Awards red carpet event Q from April 30th. Now Q has responded today, September 17th, and he's responding to this person, this anon, and says, you are learning. We will not fail you. Q. So that whole carpet bomb thing had to do with red carpet and a red carpet event. Now, what exactly that means, I have not watched the Emmys tonight. I don't know if there were any, what exactly happened during the Emmys, if anything. I'm just not a person that enjoys watching, well, I don't really enjoy watching TV, so obviously I wouldn't enjoy watching an award show about TV. So anyway, that's something that we will have to keep our eyes on, and I will let you know whatever I find out. And let's go up here. And this is the next post by Q. And someone had asked me to also make sure that I let you know what the posts numbers are. This is 2180. This one is 2179, the one we just left. Now let me show you where I am getting these posts, because there are different places where these are being collected. But let me just for a second go out. I am on QAnonPosts.com. There are others. There are, oh gosh, what is it? QAnon app. There's different ones. This just happens to be the one that I'm on. And of course, when you go to QAnonPost.com, excuse me, just one second. I'm sure most of you know this, but if you don't, you go here, and to get to the 8chan board, you just click on the number here, and it will take you out to the 8chan board and show you exactly where it's located on the 8chan board. It takes a minute for it. Okay, here it is, and that's what we were looking at right here. Attention on deck, memes at the ready, lock on target, fire at will. And it always appears in the pink here, and this is the Q post we're referring to. So that is, someone asked me, they said, please let us know what the post number is. Now, I would ask that person to leave I just had like a blank mind here, like a comment below in the comments. Let me know which number you're wanting to know. Is it this number, which corresponds to the 8chan board, or is it this number that you're wanting to know? Because I'm not sure. You wanted me to let you know what the number was, but I'm not sure which number you want me to reference. So just let me know, and I would be more than happy to do that. And anything that I can do to make it easier to understand or easier to follow, I will do if it's within my power. So let's go back. And let's look at this. September 17th, 2018, and Q gives us a tweet from the White House. And underneath he says, where we go one, we go all. Q. Let's go look at what it is. Just because we can. And let me just get this 1 second here. All right, first of all, it says, we are all one people. We are all part of one great American family. And we are all in this together, saluting one flag, singing one anthem, and pledging allegiance to one nation under God, President Donald Trump. Yes, yes, yes. All right, let's play it.
Own businesses are leading the way. They are winning again. Hispanic Americans are not only living the American dream, but their incredible efforts are unlocking the American dream for citizens all across our land. You're doing a fantastic job. Today and every day we honor, cherish, and celebrate Hispanic American workers, families, students, businesses, and leaders. You have great leaders. And we also remember that America is home to people from many backgrounds with many different stories and hailing from every single walk of life. But we are all one people. We are all part of one great American family. And we are all in this together, saluting one flag, singing one anthem, and pledging allegiance to one nation under God. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you. God bless America.
Now, I don't know about you, but I've got goosebumps. I really, really have goosebumps because that's just beautiful. It's beautiful. All right. I'll get a hold of myself here. I think it's beautiful. All right, now the next is Q posted this picture again, and of course we know, and the picture is called Pain, and I think this picture is called The Punisher. I'm not sure. It comes from a logo from somewhere, and again, I've had people remind me of this so many times that I'm embarrassed to say that I've forgotten again, but I have. But it's very familiar to those of us who have been following Q. This picture seems to turn up a whole lot. So we know exactly what it means. There's pain coming. The Punisher's coming. It is. And I'm liking this. I'm liking it a lot. So let's go up to the beginning of this. And this Anon has posted this meme. It says, "Let me see your war face .jpg," and of course that's what it says. Let me see your war face. And underneath it says, "This is it, lads and ladies." It's not just lads. But Q has referenced this above and has added a link for us to go out and look at. And then he asks, "Do you believe in coincidences?" Q. Well, I would say, yeah, I believe in coincidences, but I also know that Q has let us know many times that as far as this stuff goes, there are no coincidences. So there you go. Now, instead of going out there to it, I just clipped it for us to save a little bit of time, and it's from a Twitter account of MB Moonpearl, and he or she is replying to Sarah Carter, DC. And it says, declassify or declass FISA with this. And of course it shows POTUS pen. At least that looks suspiciously like POTUS pen. So, obviously, Q wanted us to see that and then said, "Do you believe in coincidences?" Q. So, I do believe, oh no, we have one more. This is my favorite. My favorite from today has got to be this one. Goodbye, Mr. Rosenstein. Goodbye, Mr. Mueller, or however you pronounce his name. I've heard it both ways, and I've even pronounced it both ways. So I guess we can pronounce it any way that we want because he's going goodbye. Goodbye, Mr. Rosenstein. Goodbye, Mr. Mueller. Patriots in control. Q. And I do believe that at this point, the Patriots are in control. So that is it for September 17th. We don't have a lot, but we did have enough to go over. I do want to keep us as caught up as I can, and I am planning on doing a Q-related news tonight. Lord willing and the creek don't rise, but I seem to have the energy for it, and it's only 10:11 p.m. Eastern time, and I'm a nighthawk, so I'm going to go for it. Thank you so much for listening, guys. I appreciate it. Those of you who were encouraged me yesterday on the comments, I do appreciate that as well. I really do. Thank you so much. I hope you have a good night. I hope that you stay well and stay safe.